Welcome back to the MarcWes Sports Podcast. I'm Marcus Benjamin, chilling with my guy, Wes Pierre, aka Westradamus, and we give you that real sports talk from a South Florida perspective. And a lot of news to talk about, man. There's a ton of news to talk about. Miami Dolphins are kind of getting dragged a little bit as far as like in the media or whatnot, and I feel some kind of way about it.
It's okay.
The Heat, they doing their thing. Tyler Hero had a little injury. From what I heard today, he's gonna be out a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And then the Hurricanes got the biggest game of the year. Every year, it's against Florida State this week, and I don't like what they saying about the Hurricanes either. So I'm gonna start with the Dolphins though, man. Like there's this narrative going around that the Dolphins can't beat good teams. You know what I'm saying? And it's warranted because like they didn't beat Philly and they didn't beat Kansas City and they didn't beat the Bills or whatnot.
Mhm.
But the what I have to say is that Philly and KC were in the Super Bowl last year. They're really good teams. And
Yep.
Miami hung pretty much with both of them. Despite
Mhm.
what people say about Philly blowing Miami out. I mean, this game was 14-14, I believe, going into it was in the third or fourth quarter. In the second half, it was still a close game. And then the Kansas City game, Miami lost pretty much because of two plays. You know, the play before the first half where Tyreek fumbled,
Yep.
and the snap at the end of the game where I don't know what's going on with Tua, didn't see the snap. Snap came early, whatever it was a gaffe that ultimately led to the Dolphins' demise. But I think Miami is a lot better
Yep.
than what their record shows. I think Miami is going to surprise a lot of people for the rest of this season. But like I said, from the beginning of the
Mhm.
year, this schedule is tough, man. That they got a tough schedule coming up. They play the Bills again. They play the Ravens. They play the Cowboys. It's going to be tough sledding for the rest of the season. But what we have seen is that they slap these garbage ass teams. You know, they slap them.
Mhm.
And they battle with the mid tier to high level teams. So I think it's just a couple of plays here and there, and Miami could be just one loss or two losses, or maybe even undefeated if they would just cover um um receiver from Buffalo, Stephon Diggs. If they would just cover him, then maybe that situation is different. So yeah, I just think the Dolphins. People keep saying like, okay, they're not beating good teams. Tua doesn't have a signature win or whatnot, and I think Tua has already shown that he can come back and win games. He just hasn't done it this season. Last year, he did it against Baltimore. He did it against Detroit. He did it against Buffalo, Chicago. So he's shown that he can come back and win games. It's just that it hasn't happened this season. I mean, you could actually say that the Chargers game, because the first game of the season was all because I think of Tua bringing them back. They were down in that game and they came back and won. But I'm not buying the national narrative that's going on about the Dolphins. I still think they're one of the best teams in the league. They just, they couldn't beat the two Super Bowl teams. Not many people can, right?
Yeah, definitely,
It was
definitely.
right there in the game with both of those teams.
Exactly. Now, this narrative's been happening since last year. I'm not really worried about it. Of course, we know down here in Miami, they hate us because of the beaches, the women, and the weather, and they hate us because of our sports teams. Undefeated Dolphins team, only team in the NFL to be undefeated. You have the Heat, you have the Canes. Look like they're in a positive trajectory. But like going back to what you're saying, like people saying we're frauds, people saying are we potential frauds? A lot of people said it really was the fraud. The potential, they took that out of the front and they said we were frauds. They saying Tua, we seen earlier this year, you had Stephen A. Smith saying it's not Tua, it's the wide receivers. Tua, he gives you a 2-yard pass and then Tyreek Hill and everyone else take it to the crib or give us positive yards. And for me, I'm like, yo, you contradicting yourself. You go on your show, and of course, your own co-host actually bring it to your attention, and you're over here clowning. I'm telling people, who are these people? These people are clowns and stuff, and it's really you, the clown, Stephen A. It's you and everyone else that want to say the Dolphins are not good, because for me personally, they say we haven't played any good teams, and I'm like, yo, we are playing who is on the schedule. I mean, it's not my fault that the NFL made this, And at the end of the day, we still have the second half of the actual season. And like you said, we're going to play Buffalo again. We're going to be healthy this time, because last time we had X-Man, but we didn't have our guy, Jalen Ramsey, that made his debut, made an interception, made a what? Hit stick came back in the NFL, made a hit stick. Did we recover the fumble? I don't think we recovered the fumble or anything. But again, for him to be out, how long has he been? 8 weeks, and come back and be like the number one corner again, knowing that we have X-Men on the other side that's been doing his thing. Of course, he's on the downside of his career, but he's still a top tier wide receiver. So everyone is back beside Brandon Jones, and our defense is humming now. That same defense held Kansas City to 14 points. If it was not for that fumble, like you were saying, that went back to the crib, we would have won the game either with a field goal, because that snap that Tua missed in the last snap, the fourth down, we were in field goal range. If it was 14-14, that's a field goal right there. Prior to that, the guy Wilson had a 3-4 step advantage against whoever was guarding him on the top of the screen when he was actually open, and Tua just missed that. Of course, Tua and Wilson said it was a miscommunication between both of them. Me, when I personally saw that, I thought it slipped out of his hand, because nobody can say, oh, he can't throw the deep ball no more. We already proved that last year, and we also proved that this year. So all the haters couldn't use that. So we got to go ahead and agree that it probably was miscommunication or something like that, because the way that he was just wide open is like, we know Tua is accurate, the most accurate, most efficient quarterback in NCAA history. And it seemed like that this year, because he's been leading in every damn category. Our rushing game been on point, stout. And even though these last few games, Philadelphia and Kansas City, our rushing game wasn't looking on point like that, we're still number one, number two rushing leaders in the NFL. So that shows you that the Dolphins are humming. And, when things gonna happen during the season, people are complaining and saying their O-line, they have no O-line. Not the Dolphins, but other teams in the league don't have no O-line. I don't want to hear that shit, because last year when Tua had no O-line, y'all was saying, oh, any quarterback could be in the pocket and figure it out. And now that your team is going through the bullshit that we went through, y'all want to use that. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm just going to go ahead and say things happen in the league. Things happen every year. I like what Mike McDaniel say, when anyone get injured, when we lose, we're learning. We're learning to win. We're learning to get over these losses. And for me, and like you saying, all these games been close. I don't mind losing to a team that was just in the Super Bowl last year. I don't mind losing to Patrick Mahomes, who people call the new Tom Brady or the new Peyton Manning, as far as how he understands the games and, as efficient and accurate as he is. So for me, Westradamus, yes, a Tuanon, because I got my dog Tua back. I'm going to go ahead and speak out against the haters, everybody that have anything negative to say about the Dolphins, because at the end of the day, you could talk shit now. But Mike McDaniel and everybody else on the team been talking about February. And you remember last time we recorded, we didn't even know what games were in February. And that is the Super Bowl. So, again, we're striving for the Super Bowl. Everybody else can talk shit. Because, again, Kansas City lost games last year. Was it them that won the Super Bowl? Yes, it was. So, again, it doesn't matter when it comes to the regular season. This is the time so you could go ahead and get battle tested, know who you can count on. And that's exactly what the Miami Dolphins are doing right now. Again, our defense right now is 99%. That 1% is Brandon Jones that's actually out. But besides that, the defense is looking on point right now. Everybody was talking shit about Vic Fangio the first half of the season because we didn't have the strong defense that we normally have. But that's what happens when you're playing with replacements. Again, we've been saying this for the longest. The Dolphins are top heavy in offense and on defense. O-line as well. Right now, our O-line is everybody's falling right now. But what I like to see is when we fall, the next man stand up, and we wind up still keeping Tua upright. So for me, it's a no-brainer. The Dolphins is still one of the best teams in the league. I wouldn't say number one, number two right now because they haven't had it all together at once. You feel me? Offense is doing good. Defense is doing bad. Defense is doing good. Offense is looking kind of shaky. When it, in the 2-3 more games after this bye week, maybe I'll see, and maybe it'll change my mind and say if they're the number one team. But do I think they're Super Bowl contenders right now and not frauds? Yes, I do.
Of course you say that. I mean, of course Wes is going to say that the Dolphins are Super Bowl contenders. I don't know if they're Super Bowl contenders yet because they making mistakes though, man. Like, what's up with Tua? Like, not seeing the snap. This is not the first time we've seen this from Tua. Like, why are you not making a simple play like that? I mean, I'd rather. It was sad to see the game end the way that it did. That Miami didn't even have a chance. You thought they was coming back to at least tie, maybe go for the win with a 2-point conversion. You wanted to see them go out like that. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they didn't go out like that, they went out with a mistake, makes me feel, okay, is this team a Super Bowl contender? I don't know. I don't think so right now, because if you're playing like that, then you're not really a Super Bowl contender, because a Super Bowl contender is not going to make those type of mistakes. You don't see right. Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes making those type of mistakes. I mean, I think they're going to win the division. I think they'll win the division because I don't believe in those other teams. Those other teams are really inconsistent when we talk about the Jets, Patriots, and the Bills. I think they're going to win the Bills game in Miami. They usually do. But to say that this team is a Super Bowl contender, nah, I don't see it because, they played Super Bowl contenders and they couldn't make the plays to win the game. I mean, yeah, they're going to play some other teams that are possible Super Bowl contenders like the Ravens. And if they lose to the Ravens as well, then that's going to confirm to me that they're not Super Bowl contenders.
Okay, so basically you're saying like me personally, anybody that's in the playoffs is Super Bowl contenders, maybe the top 5, the top half. You got the Ravens, you got Kansas City, you got Philly, you got the 49ers. I'll put the Dolphins up in there. You have any other teams that you may put on the top end of playoff contenders, maybe Super Bowl contenders? Probably the Jags.
I mean, the Jags, I think is on the level with us right now. I think they're like they're a good team, but they haven't really shown you yet that they can take it to the next level. I mean, they do have a playoff win over the Dolphins. I mean, as far as this era is concerned, because they won last season. I mean, as far as Super Bowl contenders, yeah, I say Philly, I say KC, I say the Ravens. And San Francisco, and then then after that it's like the next tier, which includes the Dolphins, Jaguars, Cowboys. I say we're in
the same line with Cowboys. Oh,
yeah, man. I mean,
Cowboys always lose when it comes to the playoffs, man. Say another team.
They came closer. They came closer to beating Philly than we did. I gotta say that.
They're rivals though. They rivals though, so they know each other. They, it's same thing like with us and KC. Same thing, when we play the Jets, it's always a close game. So, you saying that they got closer to being Philly, understandable because they see each other all the time. They know each other tendencies and this, that, and the other. But as far as with me, I'm looking at San Fran. The San Francisco 49ers is basically the Dolphins, just better with a better front four when it comes to the D line. Because if you talk on offense, I think we got a better offense. We still do the typical things that the Shanahan tree actually does, but I think we got a high-powered offense better than theirs. I think their defense. Well, I may change my mind because again, last week when we played Kansas City, the defense was looking real good, holding Kansas City to 14 points. So, like I was saying earlier when we was doing the other podcast, when we were going throughout the season, and we were going to do like the whole quick picks when it came to the season. I'm like, things gonna change. Same thing like how Buffalo right now, they done lost so many people in a season for the whole season. At least we got our guys in. They came back. But other teams, Buffalo is not going to be the same team. You see they're on a losing streak. You see the offense don't look the way it should be. The defense don't look the way it should be, or what we used to seeing these last few years. I still think that they're contenders because they've been there. They've done that. And for me, like what Ric Flair said, to be the man, you got to beat the man, and we haven't beat the man yet. But regardless of the fact, I do think that certain teams like the Dolphins are better than Buffalo right now because of the injuries, And for me personally, I'm happy it was a bye week because it's kind of like you're in last year with the Super Bowl with Philly, that bad taste in their mouth after Jalen Hurts fumbled the ball, and that's really the reason why they actually lost the Super Bowl, for them to actually have to wait a whole year to get their get back. You know what I'm saying? At least that bad taste that you got, I got, Chris got, and most Dolphin fans got, at least we got a week to, deal with the saltiness, and we could go back to the season and try to make the proper adjustments. So that's how I'm looking at that.
I feel you, man. I feel you. But yeah, man, I think, they got to show me something, man. Like they got to show me that they can beat one of these teams, I think they could beat the Ravens. Yeah, I think they could beat the Cowboys as well. I still believe in them. I still believe in them to win the division. You know what I'm saying? But, Tua just, I don't know if it's nerves or whatnot, but for you to not get the snap in that type of situation is just, it's unacceptable, man. And it looks like Tyreek was running free down the middle. It seemed like it was going to be a touchdown. If he would have just, avoided the rush for like maybe a second or two, I think he would have got that off, and it would have been a tie game, and it would have been a whole different narrative that they talking about the Dolphins.
He was part of the reason why we lost too. Now he done dropped two critical passes wide open. He had one touchdown that was wide open in his hand, and he started, doing his Tyreek cheetah mode before actually really having the ball secured. So everybody deserve a little blame here in this loss. But again, for me, the only thing that made me salty them last two plays and maybe the first half, because the first half it looked like we were like outmanned and we shouldn't have even been on the same stage with Kansas City. And in the second half, it wound up being a 180, and the Dolphins wind up looking decent and looking like the Super Bowl contenders that I think they are. Now, I understand that you don't think that they're contenders yet, you feel me? But again, these games that you're talking about, we're going to have to wait for a little bit of that, because I think we play Oakland right now. They just fired their coach. So I'm considering that a win. You got the Jets right after that. We got the Commanders, Titans, Jets again, Cowboys, Ravens, and the Bills. So the only games that we really can say is like a meaningful game is the last three. You got the Cowboys, you got the Ravens, and you got the Bills, because the Jets, their quarterback is gone. And you know that garbage quarterback that they got at the helm. Keep him there. Just like Daniel Jones that won me all the money with Gene. Keep the garbage quarterbacks there. Don't make a change until after you play us. But
I gotta say I appreciate you, my boy, because I'm about to cash in on that too. I had to text him this week. I'd be like, "Hey, buddy's out for the season, man.
Yeah.
He was losing anyway,
exactly,
big time anyway. It would have been a miracle for him to come back with the stats, because Tua is considered a MVP candidate.
Yes.
He's still leading the league, I think, in yards and touchdowns. Daniel Jones is nowhere to be found when it comes to the stats. So I appreciate you, my boy, for looking at it.
all day, man. Whatever I can do, man, to help the team, that's what we gonna do, man. That'll be a little bit of what we're talking about with the Dolphins, because of course we know they do have a bye week, and of course I'm starting to hear a storm come through. I can hear it in the background. I know you hear that shit. You feel me? And it sounds like we're talking about the University of Miami and the Miami Hurricanes. We were facing one of the hardest tests that we have this season. Of course, we did play Texas A&M. We did play Clemson. We did play a few teams that people thought it was going to be the pivotal game to put Miami over the hump. Of course, we beat Clemson, but ever since then we've been losing because of I was gonna say your dog, but I know he's not your dog right now.
No.
He's nobody's dog right now. TVD, DVD, please rewind to last 2 years ago because this TVD right now, oh my God, 3 to 4 turnovers every fucking game. What are we doing over here? You know what I'm saying? Our defense is top tier right now in the ACC. Offensive O-line wise, top in the ACC. And all you need to do is get it to the receivers. I don't want to hear about injuries. I don't want to hear about that shit. That's just excuses right now. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to hear about none of that because last year, me and you said it. He looks like he don't have it. It looks like his girlfriend just broke up with him when he was looking sick in the podium when y'all was interviewing him. You know what I'm saying? And he looks like that same guy that has no confidence in himself. So for me, I'm like, yo, Alabama wanted you. All these guys wanted you to transfer. I'm thinking like you should have transferred because, again, at the end of the day, I know people say that seniors, UTVD, shouldn't have these turnovers. You may not have the greatest arm, but you know how to play the game. And then you look like you're a rookie. You remember when I texted you, Marcus? I'm like, this guy looked like a 1 or 2 year quarterback. He doesn't look like a senior. He doesn't look like a quarterback that had multiple offenses in his head and you can read certain defenses. I mean, even though you got a new offense and a new offensive coordinator, you still know how to read the damn defense. And for me, they put 4 in the box and then they drop 8 and you don't know what to fucking do. For me as a fan, frustrated. You got to be over there dealing with the bullshit and then you can't even go straight home. You got to interview this stupid guy. So again, I'm over here wondering what is happening. They didn't show or didn't say if who's going to be the quarterback, Emory, if it's going to be a dual quarterback when it comes to Emory or Jacory. And, of course, you got TVD. Me, personally, I don't think nobody wants to see TVD. But me, I was thinking, I'm like, yo, you play Emory, you definitely can't go back to TVD. But if you play Emory, you wasted a year. He's not going to be able to use that you lose that red shirt freshman. You feel me? Because we got 3 more games left, I think. And if you play him, he beat Clemson. And 3 more games after that, and you lose him because of this other guy, that'll be a big blow for the University of Miami. I know Mario Cristobal and the staff, they got a huge obstacle and a huge decision to make. Do you want to play Emory at Florida State at the Doak? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really want to do that? And I say yes, because this is the same guy that went to Clemson, hostile environment, and do what he needed to do to win the damn game. I see a lot of other teams in college. They start freshmen, and the quarterback in the beginning they looking kind of shaky, you know. But then mid-season, you're like, yes, I'm happy you started this guy. Maybe that's what we should have done. Made him play them easy games, you know, and when he got to a certain point, he would have turned the corner. But I seen late in the game, it was him that won the game. It was Emory that won the game with pivotal throws, accuracy, and everything that you was talking to me about with this guy before the season started. I'm like, okay, you was hyping me up about this guy. You know, I know what's on the surface, but you knew what was on the back end. And, of course, Marcus Benjamin was making me feel good. Now, I see the guy in person, and he does make me feel good. He made me feel real good. You feel what I'm saying? He's a big dog with heavy nuts. So, for me right now, and not just that, I can't turn it over to you yet before I say about Ruben Hurricane Bang. It's all over the place. 6-7 sacks for a rookie. 6-7 sacks for a rookie. Balling like a big dog with heavy nuts. Like, yeah, boy. Now he got to get doubled. He got to get doubled. And when you double a rookie, seniors, juniors, y'all need to be running amok on that damn quarterback. So for me, my whole thing is, before I pass it to you, I think that we need to contain this quarterback because you do know I hate running quarterbacks. You hate running quarterbacks. And the University of Miami don't do great with running quarterbacks. So Can we contain him? I know Ruben Bain be inside and outside. You know, me preferably, I like him on the inside because, you know, that's just me. I think that he does. He basically is a guy that demands 2-3 blockers at all times. You can't take your eye off of this guy. And in the edge, you know, if he try to slip inside, the quarterback could actually run outside. Now, I just want the quarterback to try to run through the gap in the middle and get your ass whacked by Ruben Bain. But yes, that's what I see right now. I think, I don't know, matter of fact, I'm gonna let you talk before I say who I think gonna win, who I think gonna lose, because you may change my mind. So what's going on?
All right. I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head on everything. I mean, from what I hear, I know this is going to make you mad, sad, you know, but from what I hear, that they're going to roll with Tyler Van Dyke for this game. And, you know, I did hear that he may be on a short leash. So if he throws 2 interceptions, from what I hear, that they're going to, you know, play Emory Williams. But you definitely hit it on the head with the red shirt conversation, because if they do play Emory Williams, that means the red shirt is burned, and which means you burned a year and he doesn't have an extra year of eligibility. Tyler Van Dyke actually has another, you know, even though he's actually a 4-year junior, and that's because of the whole COVID thing. So he is technically a senior, but he has 1 year of eligibility left next season, which he's not going to get drafted at all. I mean, he might not even get drafted to the USFL, you know, or the Canadian League, you know, so he's very likely to stay another year.
Bullshit.
The question is like, does Miami go get a transfer quarterback? And my answer is yes. You have to get a transfer quarterback because Tyler Van Dyke is not the guy. And I think defensive has figured him out. You said this as well, as they drop 8 in coverage, and Tyler Van Dyke is forced to, you know, he can't help himself for some reason. Like in when you see 8-man coverage, you play Madden, you know what it is. When you see 8 people drop, there's really 3 options for you. You either run the ball with the quarterback, you check it down to like a short underneath throw to either receiver or running back, or you have to make a really, really accurate throw. And we already know that Tyler Van Dyke has failed in all 3 phases. He's failed in making accurate throws. He fails in trying to run. I mean, he's not that athletic anyway, but he is athletic enough to get you some yards, but he just chooses not to do. He pass the ball until he gets sacked, or like even in the last game, he got sacked by himself, it looked like. And either that or you have a running back option. I'm watching this game from the press box, so I get to kind of see what he's looking at. And most of the time, the running back is just open, or like a receiver in the flat is just open. And he's like, oh no, let me force it.
It's not Restrepo.
Let me force it to Restrepo. Let me force it to Jacoby George to see what can happen. And like I said, he's not accurate enough to make that throw. Maybe Tua can make those throws because he's more accurate. But Tyler Van Dyke, sorry, you can't make those type of throws. And I think his confidence gets shot every time he throws an interception early. If you look back to the Georgia Tech game, he threw an interception early, and then ever since then, confidence is out the window. He doesn't know where to throw. Same thing happened in the Virginia game. Same thing happened in the NC State game. He throws an early interception, and then all of a sudden, it's this snowball effect. And that can't happen against FSU, bro. Like, I don't care how many games you lose. If you didn't win a game all year, you got to win this game, or at least not get embarrassed. Like last year, Miami got embarrassed, bro. They got embarrassed 45-3, the worst blowout in the history of this series that dates back, I don't know, I think 70, 75 years, something like that. It's embarrassing, and you just don't want to get embarrassed in the situation, because I know you be watching Twitter like maybe not as much as I do. These Florida State fans, they're going in. They're going in right now. They're out of control. And I would love nothing more than Miami to come up with a victory on this day. But I'm gonna give you now. That was all the bad shit. I'm gonna give you some reason to believe.
Okay, make me believe, man, please.
I'm gonna give you some reason to believe, bro. So Miami is better than this team when it comes to rushing offense. They're better than this team when it comes to rushing defense as well. And they're better when it comes to time of possession, right? They're obviously not better when it comes to passing the ball. And they're not better when it comes to defending the pass either. So this has to be a game that has to be the total opposite of what you've seen from Tyler Van Dyke. He has to be totally conservative. He has to be like game manager, like how Alex Smith. I don't know if you remember Alex Smith. You gotta be like him. You got to be like him. You got to be like a Trent Dilfer. You got to be like a Brad Johnson. You got to be really conservative in this game because, to be honest, Wes, this defense is good enough to win games. Yes. They make enough plays to win games. Cameron Kitchens is giving you an interception damn near every game.
Oh, James Williams.
This defense, James Williams has been making a play at least once a game. He makes a really spectacular play. And the D coordinator, Lance Guidry, be scheming up shit. He schemes up a corner blitz, causing fumbles. He did that with Corey Couch. He did that with Jaden Davis. Did that with Cameron Kitchens. He made the adjustment against Clemson. You know, if it wasn't for that defensive coordinator and that defense, they don't win against Clemson and they don't win against Virginia. So I think when you look at it from that respect, you think, okay, Miami has a chance. Another way they have a chance is that Florida State's best win was against LSU. LSU is 6-3. Miami is 6-3. And Boston College almost beat Miami. Almost beat Florida State, I mean. And they're also 6-3. So, and you know, Miami and Florida State, it's a rivalry. A lot of the kids know each other. You know, they want to do it in front for their family, you know, just for these kids that they've been playing against each other since probably youth football. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be playing with a lot of adrenaline for this game. And they got that sour taste of that NC State game in their mouth. So I think the rest of this team can beat Florida State. When you talk about the O-line, when you talk about the O-line, when you talk about the D-line, you already talked about Ruben Bain. When you talk about the DBs, we already talked about them. They can make plays, enough plays to win the game. When you talk about this running game, you saw Mark Fletcher out there balling like a big dog last week. You know what I'm saying? True freshman, you know, from the crib doing his thing. AJ Allen should be back for this game. Henry Parrish and Chaney should all be healthy for this game.
Don't give it a Chaney. I don't need no fumble. I'm sorry.
It wasn't a fumble though. It wasn't.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. But you can't leave it in their hand to steal it from you. You can't leave it in the ref's hands. I'm sorry.
Big facts on that. You know, but you know, it wasn't a fumble. The ACC refs, you know, they hate us because the women, the beaches, and the weather, and they saw the elbow down, and they were like, this is our chance to fuck Miami, and that's exactly what happened against that Georgia Tech game, and I'm still standing on that. So, if to be honest, you know, I think the Miami should be with 2 losses right now. You know, obviously, NC State is a loss, chalk that one up. North Carolina, a loss, chalk that one up. But you know, 7-2, like, yeah, if they were 7-2 right now, they would be in the top 25. You know, so they would still be in contention to go to the ACC championship game. So, I think Miami's going to keep it close in this game. That's all kind of what I wanted to say about it. You about to make a prediction, so I'll let you make your prediction.
I said we lose.
Wow.
I gotta say it.
Bro, if you saying we lose, then that makes it so we're gonna lose because
we're gonna lose.
Motherfucker, I know when it comes to
we're gonna lose. TVD is gonna lose the game for us. They're gonna make the change to Emory. But it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late, you know. And for me, like you know, I'm normally a homer. I'm normally a Dolphins, Kane, Heat. You know, sometimes I'll be blinded. But TVD, he done took the veil off of my face, and I can see clearly. You feel me? Like I'm over here, like damn, we made the things always happen. We're cursed. You know why? Because when we had Jake Garcia here, me like you was basically kind of making me feel like he was the better quarterback and he got injured and he left. You know what I'm saying? And now we're stuck with this trash. You know, like when they tell your parents say close the gate so the dog won't go outside, won't run away. I'm trying to leave the damn gate open. I'm trying to leave it open so TVD you can run away. Please, I don't need you here in Miami. Again, I'm being real. I don't like feeling the way I feel, especially when we lose the way we lose. I mean, come on, man. You feel me? You see what we were saying earlier about how we lost with the Dolphins to, you know, them two last plays. Like, it make you feel some type of way. But if you just lose, you lost, cool. The Miami Heat lost in the championship. I just felt like Denver was the better team. Of course, during the time, I'm like, we were good and this, that, and the other. But after watching the series and seeing how they was dominating, we were playing, but we weren't that team that was supposed to win. I'm looking at this team right now. TVD, you're not the guy. You're going to make us lose the game. Marcus, he knows that. You feel me? He knows that. Everybody knows that. What we need to do is take it back to how it was. You fucking up. You missing kicks. Field goal kicker. You're messing up. They whoop your ass in the locker room. That's what it need to go back to. Whooping your ass in the damn locker room. All this, you feel me, saying the nice things. Look, when Michael Irvin, Ray Lewis, Warren Sapp, all these big dogs was there, you don't do your job, and you're the reason why we lost because of you consistently making the same mistake. They whoop your ass in the locker room. And that's exactly what I hope happened when he make us lose this damn game. Ruben Bain, whoop his ass. Or Nigel Lee Kelly, whoop his ass, because the defense get to stay on the damn field all damn day because of you. Showing the world that we're one of the best defenses in the in the ACC, and you the reason why we always on the field and losing energy. And hey, it is what it is. We lost.
Yeah.
We lost.
Yeah, I mean, this comes down to quarterback play. Just like I said, I mean, I think Miami can battle with this team until the end because, like I said, their defense been playing well, their running backs been playing well. Receivers, from what I hear from the off, when you read between the lines of what the OC is saying, it's basically saying receivers are getting open. The quarterback is just not finding him. You know, so basically they're good in every phase of the game, even special teams. The punter's been great. The kicker is nominated for the Grozer Award, which is the best kicker in the world, in the nation, in the world. Let me just say in the world. Mm-hmm. You know, award. So the one spot is the most important spot for you to win, and that's quarterback. And when you look at Tyler Van Dyke, when he performs on the road, he doesn't play well. He doesn't have a signature win on the road. You know, that there's no big game that he's won on the road where he's in a tight spot and he makes a, you know, game-winning drive or something like that. He has none of that on the road. He barely has any at all. He only, when you look back at it, of course, I'll be doing my research, he's only has 2 wins like that. And that was in 2021 when he beat NC State by 1 point at home. And then there was another game against Georgia Tech that same year where he came back in the fourth quarter. But that's it. Last year, 0. This year, 0. So what makes you think that he's going to do it against Florida State, the number 4 team in the country? There's no indication that tells you that he will do it. So for that fact, yeah, we're going to lose. You know, I think they keep it close. Like I said, I feel like Miami gets the turnover and, you know, like they keep it close. I feel like, you know, they you know, get the running game going because we've seen other teams do it against Florida State. You know, I think they keep themselves in the game, you know, but it's hard for me to say that the Hurricanes are going to win this game against Florida State when you got Tyler Van Dyke as your quarterback. One last thing I do want to say, what they should do, Wes. Here's what they should do, bro. You play Jakari Brown.
Yes.
Play Jakari Brown, right, at quarterback, right? And then you got Brashard Smith, who's come out of the backfield before. You play him at running back. And then you got Mark Fletcher. Tell me who's going to stop that. Who's going to stop that running game with this O-line? Nobody. With this O-line, who's going to stop that? You got Jakari Brown, who is arguably the fastest player on this team at quarterback. Then you got Brashard Smith, arguably the fastest team at running back. Then you got Mark Fletcher, who, you know, is probably your best running back, you could interchange the running backs too, because AJ Allen is faster at running back. Interchange him. Parrish is always going to give you positive yards. You can interchange him. Like, why not play that type of game? I mean, because it'll be a wrinkle that Florida State would not be expecting. And if you want to go to like a pass situation, then I think, you go with Emory Williams when it comes to like trying to make passes. But if it's up to Tyler Van Dyke to make throws, I ain't seeing it. I ain't seeing it at all, bro.
Nobody sees that shit, kid. Nobody. So yeah, man. We'll see, man. Of course, the game is probably 2 days from now, probably. Yeah. And I'm happy it's not a late game. At least when we lose, I can enjoy the rest of my night. You know what I'm saying? Because when we lose, I turn off the TV. I don't want to look at ESPN. I don't want to look at no social media because like I just be so aggravated. I'm like, I could have done something with my wife. We could have watched the movie. We could have done something if we knew that every time we're gonna watch this guy, we're gonna wind up ending up losing and having a bad night. So right. We'll wait and see. Hopefully we're both wrong, but I don't think that's gonna happen right now. I think we do know the truth. Right now, Westradamus can see the future right now. I got a crystal ball somewhere around here, and I can see TVD throwing an interception if he's the one that's actually starting the game. So we'll see. Yeah. One thing I do want to chime in on is what's happening in the sports world. There's a few things happening in the sports world besides the University of Miami, the Miami Dolphins, and the Heat. Of course, you said Tyler Hero, he injured his ankle. I'm not going to jump into that right now because every time he's always injured, but it is, and it's too early in the season, too many games for us to be covering the Heat every time something like this happened because, it's going to happen again. But what I want to talk about is that video you done showed me, kid. That video when you showed me and I'm Chris, where you got ex-former
Joe Smith's wife.
Yeah, no Mangler. You feel me?
Yeah.
She out here still for the streets.
Yeah, I mean, I think the worst thing about that situation is the fact that she had that OnlyFans account up for a whole year and you don't tell your husband. To me, that's almost divorceable of an offense because I don't care what you're doing for a year. You could be, selling popcorn for a year and you don't you could just tell you didn't tell me that you're doing something of that magnitude and it's on your IG, like and if I'm not on social media, I'm not on social media. If he's not, then whatever. I know a lot of people who don't have social media at all. So the fact that she kept that away from him is, obviously, the nature of what you're doing is wrong and it makes you look like a Mangala or a Ross or whatever you want to call her, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you doing something like that behind his back, what else you doing? You know what I'm saying? What else are you doing to get some money, behind somebody's back? I mean, and then at the same time, yeah, he knew, like, but when she said you knew what you got yourself into or whatever, to that degree, she said, when she first said that, I didn't know the background yet. I was like, oh, I didn't know, like, in my mind, I thought she was a stripper. I was like, okay, so he's a stripper, whatever. A lot of these basketball players fall in love with strippers, whatever. Zion. It happens, you got money, you're willing to pay for whatever they willing to do. I can see that. But the fact that she was a porn star, Wes, makes me feel like, okay, yeah, she got a point. She got a point. You knew what you was getting yourself into for real.
But that had nothing to do with the lie, though.
Has nothing to do with the lie. It has nothing to do with the lie. It's still wrong, and it's still a divorceable offense. But at the same time, is you really that surprised?
Well, maybe we can't be that surprised. But him, you married her, you married her. So again, like when you walk that down that aisle, knowing that she used to be a porn star, sometimes be lying. I'm scripting just because I'm paying for college. I'm doing this because it's a means out to this situation that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that's what she sold him early on in. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to wife something that you had other people making plays on tape? You feel me? Because of course, I mean, we're older. If you're talking to someone older, most likely she's not a damn virgin. Like, come on, man. Like, this is not 1950, 1960. A lot of, not say majority, a lot of these women out here, want the same thing guys want. They just worry about their reputation as far as, being labeled a hoe or being labeled something that's quick or fast. But for you to hold that behind his back for a year, or when it's just like, let's just say I hollered at somebody before, like I smashed a girl, and I bring her in my circle with my wife, and she's chopping it up with my wife, and my wife, I'm just saying this is a homegirl, but this is somebody I slept with, and then my wife found out later that me and her had relations. Why didn't you tell me? Because you're hiding something. You're probably still making plays with that girl. Y'all still may have feelings with each other. You know what I'm saying? Or in her situation, I'm making more money and I don't want to share the money with you. And not just that, with OnlyFans, you have meetups. I be seeing them on Instagram. It say meetup on OnlyFans and all that, because I didn't understand how OnlyFans worked. You feel what I'm saying? And some say meetups, this, that, and the other. You don't be getting requests from these people that saying, it's not a regular girl, maybe like 4 or 5 pictures. Of course, the girl look thick, look right, this, that, and the other, but it looks shaky. It looks like a spam. It look like somebody trying to do fraud. It look like some type of them situation. But again, you do read, it says meetups. It means this, that, and the other. She's probably doing the meetup. She probably doing this, that, and the other. And not just that, but she was on the show with Mace and Cameron, and Mace on Cameron was trying to holler at her.
I seen that.
This massage traveling thing and this, that, and he's like, that. Do you do the massages too? Because Cameron got money. He don't have no problem throwing that. Because I remember seeing another episode where he was like, he remember giving when he was rapping at the particular time, paying for the sack. And people that got money, they don't feel no type of way about paying for it, because that money is nothing. Right. Regular individuals like us is probably going to be throwing shade at the dude. Oh, you pay for some sack? You pay for this, that, and the other? We're in a different bracket from them. These rich people, they do this all the time. So I understand. But just the plain fact that he tried to holler at her is what we were thinking. She's for the streets, and let me see if she going to bite. You feel me? Because that thing biting out here. So for me, I'm like, yo, one of the most disrespectful things that you could do to your husband, you record him when he actually call you out on the situation, because it could have been something that's inside the house. Who was recording? Not him. She was. Like, yo, what are you doing? Like, do you not want to be with this guy? Just say it. You feel me? And I heard she was saying something like, oh, I guess he don't got the finances that he had when he was in the league.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, guys, food for thought. She's giving you guys the example. The same thing like with Zion. When you're up, they're with you. When you down, they're gone. So you got to be mindful of these type of women. You feel what I'm saying? Like, me and you were married, and I know if I'm broke, my dom going to help lift me up. I know your dom going to do the same shit. You feel me? I've been around your peoples, good peoples. You feel me? Like, I can't understand. Well, I can understand because she was a porn star. You feel me? She was doing, but I mean, I would think that some porn stars are loyal at least. I mean, you just doing this for money, but like, you're not loyal to friends. You're not loyal to your family. You're not loyal to your boyfriend, because again, at the end of the day, most people not going to wife you. You're going to be a hoe your whole life. And for that guy that had money to save you, he saved you. Yeah. And then now you just showing guys in his position, do not save these hoes. Treat them exactly how they supposed to be treated. Test drive the car. Her, she's a convertible. She's a Rolls Royce. Test drive her ass multiple times and cook her ass to the damn curb, because the truth is coming out right now. It seems like we're in end days right now, because everything is coming out right now. Every truth is coming out right now. Same like the white. Dwight Howard. This guy
Yeah,
over here going crazy over here.
yeah. Like a wise man, I think, told me, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Yes.
Believe them 100%. And I think that's where Joe Smith went wrong. And I think maybe that's where maybe the nation went wrong with Dwight Howard, because I think, we all kind of, I think in the back of our head we always kind of thought it, but we didn't get the confirmation. We didn't get the confirmation number. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get that. The confirmation receipt. We didn't get that until what has happened recently. And we're like, whoa,
Yeah,
man,
man.
it was like that. I mean,
And
I
it's
don't really
crazy.
care too much. I don't really care too much with what you do with your life. I mean, that's cool. I mean, whatever. If that's what you want to do, like, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's on you. So, like, if he wants to do like that, but it's still funny though. It's funny as hell just to know that Dwight Howard, because I heard this whole story about it. I don't know if you heard the whole story about the shit,
Yep.
because I don't know if this is a blogger or just like a TMZ type of person, but they were saying that he tried to get this dude to come over, and then, like, when the dude actually came over, he was already with another dude, and they was trying to do like the three ski b ski type shit. And that dude that he called to come over was like, nah, I ain't with that. I was like, damn, this story sounds too detailed to be not true. You know what I'm saying?
I like what May said. You feel me? He said to the contrary of what you say. You like, I don't really care what what happens in people's bedroom. You don't until you find out. Now I care. You feel me? I care now. I'm sorry. Majority of the time I don't care, but yeah, Mace, you hit it right on the head, man. Stop telling these guys we don't care about what happens in their bedroom, because when we find out, we do care. And I care right now because this is the image that you gave. You gave this image that you're a very masculine man. You're Superman. You going at Shaq. Going at it with Shaq, somebody that's a Hall of Famer, one of the most dominant players in the NBA. Oh, I seen before when he was on the bench and he tried to put his hand in between somebody's legs, and the dude like, hold up, what the hell you doing? You feel me? I don't know. Again, we did have the video earlier on the podcast when you had the two players humping each other on the bed. I think they played for the Rockets or something like that. Like, again, we don't care until you let us know. Now we got to scrutinize you, because at the end of the day, when you pretend that you go this way, but you go that way or that way or that way or that way, yes, we're going to go ahead and chime in on that, because look, you got individuals questioning P. Diddy on how he moves. You know what I'm saying? He always saying reckless things, controversial things.
You said P. Diddy?
Yes. People are questioning his sexuality, my boy.
Right.
When I edit the video, I'm gonna put the videos up.
Isn't he dating Young Miami?
Exactly, but they're calling her a beard. You know, like a lot of people are saying that he likes both, but for me, there's no such thing as both for men. It's only one way for men. You feel me? You can't be playing hopscotch. You feel me? Going back and forth. It's not happening over here. You feel me? And I know the women that's listening is probably going to be like, that's not fair. What about women? But we're not talking about women right now. We're talking about Dwight Howard right now and these individuals that make it seem like they go this way, but they go the other way. Now, again, at the end of the day, we really wouldn't care, because I know some gay people. One of my colleagues at work was gay. You feel me? I don't really mess with him like that, but I'm gonna be cordial. I ain't gonna treat you less than a man. You feel me? This, that, and the other. You know how I move, so you know not to even approach me a certain way. You feel what I'm saying? These guys know exactly who to actually try and who to play with like that. I seen a few interviews with Diddy when it was him, it was Jadakiss, and I think it was Fabulous. And I seen interviews about 50 chiming in about P. Diddy trying to take him out shopping and do all type of different things. I seen the guy from what's his name? The one that used to go with That's So Raven Girl. He's kind of crazy right now. He's a crazy dude. And he was like, man, Diddy smashed him. He said, Diddy smashed him. He said, Diddy, you gave me the hopscotch, goose whatever. He said something like that. Yeah. I seen interviews of Diddy saying that he woke up next to Usher when Usher was like 15, 16 years old. All these different things. And then, so again, there's plenty of different things that when it comes to Diddy, but I did not know what I knew about Dwight Howard, my boy. You feel what I'm saying? And again, when they ask you the question on another podcast after this done blew up and went viral, you don't want to answer the question. Just keep it real. Just say, look, I go both ways, man. Hey, it is what it is. What y'all gonna tell me? Say that. Don't say, oh, politically, oh, what happens in my bedroom. Like, I ain't trying to hear that. A straight dude, when you question his sexuality, that's like you're questioning his life. You feel what I'm saying? Like somebody that's on the fence, you feel me? They're going to give you politically correct. Somebody that's like, you know, straight, you feel me? Don't even play with them like that. You know that, Marcus. Don't even play. They will, like, that is the like one of the worst offenses in the world for you saying, oh, a straight dude, oh, and you say, yo, effing ass. You feel me? Like with the T in the end. You feel me? Or with the G in the end. You feel me? You know, like you don't want to say these things to somebody that's straight because no, you know, when it comes to a man, all you have is your reputation and your name. If you're known as a liar, you're always known as a liar. If you're known as somebody that's sweet, you're known as sweet. Don't try to act tough with me, sweet guy. No, don't do that. But hey, it is what it is. I'm kind of happy that this did came out because we're in a time right now where the truth is coming out. We're in Revelations, I think. You feel me? I don't read the Bible like that, but I know the truth is coming out. And they said in the Bible, everything is coming out. So all these people that need to get exposed, expose them. All the truth that need to come out right now, cool. Recently, we seen that they're saying that there's aliens. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Let the truth come out. We here to hear it. We are here to hear. Yeah. Come on, man. I see you gave that side out, Marcus. I
don't really care too much like about how he responded, you know, because how he responded pretty much tells you what it is, you know, just like you said, because if you ask a straight dude, they're gonna be like, yo, I need to beat your ass for asking me that question. You know, so the fact that he said it the way he said it, I don't have a problem with him saying that because it already kind of confirms what we already know. But officially, right? Officially, because he's in the limelight, to have that officially stamped on you is kind of takes it to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's official, you know, like
like a referee,
you know, like when they look up your Wikipedia, they will say man, you know what I'm saying, like that type of thing, or partner is John Doe, you know what I'm saying, that type of thing. That makes it official, you know what I'm saying. But right now, it's technically still a rumor, you know what I'm saying. And if I were him, I would keep it at that, you know what I'm saying, because you know you can say what you want, Wes, but like how, you know, like if you find out like somebody that you know is gay or whatnot, you still be cordial with them, but you're gonna look at them a different way,
of course,
a whole different way. And I think gay people are afraid of being alienated in that regard. You know, they don't want to lose their friends, their family that they've had all their life, because if they do that, they feel like half of them people are gonna be gone and not gonna mess with them no more. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's cool, I guess, to like live this, you know, fabricated life or facade, I guess you could say. But I understand why they do it, because now somebody that you've been friends with, teammates that he's had for like years, you know what I'm saying, are not going to mess with him anymore. Ultimately, he's the same guy. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, he's always been this guy. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't say anything about it because he would have lost basically half of his friends and family. So I think, you know, I don't really fault him for that part of it. You know, what you do, yeah, is your business behind closed doors. But when he says an answer like that, that gives you your answer. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is.
See, but think
But
about
at
it.
the same time, you know, like, hey, it doesn't really, like, because I don't know him, it
It
doesn't
don't
really
affect you.
it doesn't really affect me, you know, yay or nay.
Oh no, it didn't really affect me neither. And plus, he was never in Miami. He was never, anything that represented on our end. So I really didn't care. But it was funny. I mean, it is still funny to this day. And of course,
Yeah,
Mace and
yes.
Cameron makes it extra funny when they chiming in on that. But yo, my whole thing is ultimately come down to it. We're in a time where you know this movement in regards to individuals that are gay or anywhere like that is open for you to come out and not be shunned by society, maybe by people that's close to you because they feel betrayed. Because me, I don't like liars. You feel what I'm saying? Liars become thieves. You feel me? Like, at least keep it real with me. You know what I'm saying? If you could keep it real with me and I can embrace you, maybe you'll be able to open up, because I'm pretty sure his family knew that, and some close friends knew that. So for him hiding it from the public.
But let me ask you this, because I know you said this before on other podcasts. You
Hmm.
said, I don't care what you do in your bedroom.
Yeah, but what I said just now, I don't care what happens in your bedroom until I find out what happened in your bedroom. Now I found out, now I care. So yeah, you're right. But yeah, like, look, I wasn't checking for it before. Know what I'm saying? Because it ain't none of my business. But now it's out in the open. What you mean? Everybody's chiming in, everybody making their jokes and this, that, and the other. But for me, it's more him being a liar. For me, it's him being having a double life. For me, is like betraying a lot of people that's close to you, that look up to you and stuff like that. Because not just us, because I really didn't look up to Dwight Howard as one of the. I know he's one of the greats.
He's a
Top
Hall of
7.
Famer for sure.
He's a Hall of Famer, but he was not somebody I looked up to. You know how many kids that grew up watching him, and now they feel betrayed. You know what I'm saying? So again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how people feel, but it matters how people feel, because at the end of the day, you're a celebrity. You have to hold yourself with integrity and this, that, and the other, and it shows you don't have integrity because you're a liar. Point blank. Period. It don't even
Yeah.
matter about your sexuality. You just a liar, and that's one of the biggest lies that you can have. So for me, dump them or flush them, flush them down the damn toilet. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. One last thing I want to say real quick. I don't know if it's true or not, but my wife was telling me the other day that there's rumors of Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union possibly getting a divorce.
I heard that too from wifey. That's so funny.
See, our wives, we into the sport. They into the sport. You feel me? They keep us on point too now.
Yeah.
But yeah, wifey told me that, and I really didn't want to go into it right now because I don't like the way Dwayne Wade have been moving these last few years in regards to things that's happening personally in his life and his family, and certain stances that he has on certain issues. But again, that's his life. I can't control how a person want to live their life for certain stances. But I did feel betrayed being a loyal Heat fan, for us saying it's Wade County, for us this, that, and the other. Like, I'm happy I didn't buy a Wade jersey and I got a LeBron jersey in the closet. I haven't wore that LeBron white hot jersey since he left. It's just collecting dust.
I got 2 Wade jerseys, bro.
You see? Look at the misery on your face.
Bro. Like, damn.
But yeah, man. If he is getting a divorce, and I think he's getting a divorce possibly because it's cheating. Damn, Wade, you should have stayed with your ex-wife.
I don't know about that.
Nah, man.
Did he cheat on her too?
Yeah, but I mean, what?
Should have stayed single.
Nah, you feel me? I heard a lot of different things. You feel me? I don't know if it's true, but I heard him and Gabby be throwing these celebrity parties, that wild things happen over there. You know, I heard things. I don't know if it's true. It's speculation. I don't know, but I heard it the same way I heard about this divorce. It's the same thing, and maybe that's why you got with her, because everybody know in Hollywood that Gabrielle, she used to get passed around. You may not know, but I know. You feel me? Like she was getting, and she was living her life. You were single at the time, and you got money. I know life is not fair, but you can't do the same thing guys do. I could smash $1,000,001, and you could call me a dog, but I don't care. But if you got a whole name attached behind you, and you a woman, it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's different. We're gonna look at you like Joe Smith's wife. You know what I'm saying? You may not be a porn star, but you doing porn star things with the world. So, but me, if that happens, it will be devastating, you feel me, to that family, because I don't know how it will work. Of course they're gonna be cordial and try to raise their daughter together and this, that, and the other, but most likely the daughter's gonna go to Gabby, and your son and the other one is going to I'm being politically correct, kid. I can say your other son, but I'm like, no.
Yeah. I got you. It's so funny.
Like, you're gonna have to handle that situation on your own, and to be a guy, it's hard to raise a
child. To say a child. It's
a child. It's hard. See, but that was not the point I'm trying to make, because men normally can raise men to be men. Men can raise women, but that femininity that comes behind being a woman, you can't teach that. I can't teach that. My wife can't teach my son how to be a man. You can't. Your wife had to teach your daughter how to be a woman, a young lady, hold herself with class, with dignity, with morals, with this, that, and the other. You feel me? So for me, in that situation where that child is kind of like in the flux with the media, with the trying to figure that child's self out, it's gonna be kind of hard, man. It's gonna be hard, man.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. Like I don't know. I mean, I think, people like that got money. They could work things out. They're gonna work out visitation, I'm sure, and they both got money and they both are successful with their careers. I don't know who's making more money. I know Gabby's probably making more money right now because Dwayne Wade is not working, but he also owns a majority of the Utah Jazz, so maybe he is making money. I think he owns a part of a WNBA team as well. So, I'm sure he's still making money as well. And I'm pretty sure his shoes are still booming in China or whatnot. And so I think they're gonna work it out. It's weird. It's weird to hear though, because whenever you see them on social media, everything looks great. You know what I'm saying? Everything looks awesome with these two, and they seem like they're on the same page. And then when that shit came out about her, them going, like, I guess, Dutch on the Bills or whatnot, Gabby was, defended Dwayne Wade for that situation, and they seemed to like be on the same accord when it came to that. So it's disappointing to hear, because it's a black couple, and you kind of want to see black couples like continue to thrive and stay together, and especially since Gabby left, like this is their second go round together. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she came back and was like, okay, I realize you the one I want to be with, type of shit. So it's got to be something. It feels like it's got to be some kind of infidelity kind of going on for them to be breaking up like that all of a sudden. Because it's got to be a violation of trust for them to just split up like that.
Yeah, it's been a violation of trust since she had that kid on her and she came back. And I forgive you once, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me is basically what she's saying to herself right now. But I don't know, why would you cheat, especially from the like the parties that I'm saying that you have, where you guys are open to a lot of different things that the typical couple wouldn't do. Like, just bring that person in like y'all normally do. You feel me? Like, you don't even need to cheat. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Gabby could be right there vibing and doing her thing, or y'all could all be, playing house with each other for that short period of time. Like, you're in the best situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a man perspective, if you in a relationship like that and it's open, you feel me? Like, it's only a good thing if it's only women getting involved, because once you start involving men in there, I'm gonna feel some type of weird, like, what the fuck you doing? Like, no, you know what I'm saying? But I just hope that they figure it out. Dwayne Wade, you're dumb as hell, because like, if you're in that situation, you with a successful woman like that, that's allowing you to be free with her in y'all home while y'all do whatever y'all do. Why you gotta step out the box and be dolo and do it by yourself? Like, come on, man. Sharing is caring, and she probably was tired of him not sharing. You know what I mean? Right. Anyway, man. Hopefully they land on their feet, like you said. They both got money. They both successful. They both can hire people to help out in whatever situation. So I know they're gonna land on their feet. I mean, everybody get divorced nowadays in regards to these celebrities, and it's on to the next one. Hopefully, we can look up to a black couple that don't have their name in the media like that. Kind of like LeBron. Even I don't like you, LeBron, but I like how you and your relationship with Savannah is. You feel me? She's not in the mix. She holds you down, and she looks and move like our wives, which is down to earth, loyal, not a clout chaser, and keeping it moving. Maybe Wade, you should probably look into normal people's lives, and because sometimes for real, sometimes celebrities haven't been taught how to build a real.
Give me 1 second, Wes. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, because sometimes maybe some individuals in relationships like Dwayne Wade aren't able to actually learn how to be in a relationship, because of course, Dwayne Wade, his mom went through the situation, with the drugs, and of course, she shows she's a strong God fearing woman, becoming a pastor and doing a 180 with her life and stuff like that. But as a kid being raised, I don't think that she showed him how to be loyal to one woman, or not just that, him living with his father and his father really showing him certain things. Now, again, I seen his Hall of Fame speech, and his dad was up there with him, and I was happy that he did make the Hall of Fame, and happy that he did allow his dad to be up there with him and praise his dad on that stage at that particular time. But maybe some of that is still in him in regards to the trauma that he did witness or experience when he was younger, because for you to continuously not be able to make a relationship work, sometimes it's not the relationship, sometimes, and more so often, it's you. So that's what we're going to go ahead and say in regards to that. Again, you got the University of Miami. We're going ahead and playing FSU, like we said earlier. Me and Marcus do think that we're going to lose the game. We got the Miami Dolphins on a bye week. When they do come back, we do think that is a win, because they're playing a dysfunctional team that just fired their head coach in the Oakland Raiders, and they actually celebrated with cigars and stuff like that. Another story, but you just wanna keep it locked in, and because we got more information for you guys in the near future, and we also are going to transition from the MarcWes Sports Podcast into the Worldwide West show in the West of Damas, and we'll definitely have Marcus Benjamin from KingsCounty.com, to chime in from time to time in regards to what we just spoke on, the Dolphins, the Canes, sometimes the Heat, but more so the Canes. You can also follow Marcus Benjamin on KingsCounty.com, Rivals, lead editor of Rivals.com in regards to Canes County, And yeah. Until to the next episode, my boy.
Till the next episode, my guy.
Peace. All right, kid.